A man, as a general rule, owes very little to what he is born with. A man is what he makes of himself. A man's own judgment should be the final appeal in all that relates to himself. The most successful men, in the end, are those whose success is the result of steady accretion. Man is an animal which, alone among the animals, refuses to be satisfied by the fulfillment of animal desires. It is the man who carefully advances step by step, who is bound to succeed in the greatest degree. I have always considered myself as an agnostic. Don't keep forever on the public road, going only where others have gone. Observe, remember, compare. When one door closes, another one opens. Leave the beaten track behind occasionally and dive into the woods. Every time you do, you will be certain to find something you have never seen before. Night is a more quiet time to work. It aids thought. Great discoveries and improvements invariably involve the cooperation of many minds. Concentrate all your thoughts upon the work in hand. The sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. The day will come when the man at the telephone will be able to see the distant person to whom he is speaking. One day there will be a telephone in every major city in the USA. The telephone will be used to inform people that a telegram has been sent. It is not, of course, complete yet. But some sentences were understood this afternoon. I feel that I have at last struck the solution of a great problem. The day is coming when telegraph wires will be laid onto houses just like water or gas, and friends converse with each other without leaving home. Morse conquered his electrical difficulties, although he was only a painter, and I don't intend to give in either till all is completed. A person without a practical end in view becomes a crank or an idiot. Such persons fill our asylums. There are two critical points in every aerial flight: its beginning and its end. The results would be considered very unsatisfactory at the present time, yet, encouraged by the results, poor as they were, I went ahead immediately to prepare specifications for a patent. America is a country of inventors, and the greatest of inventors are the newspapermen. Neither the Army nor the Navy is of any protection, or very little protection, against aerial raids. The nation that secures control of the air will ultimately control the world. Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. Boston is par excellence the home of the telephone, for it was here that all the apparatus was made and where the important experiments went on. Perseverance must have some practical end, or it does not avail the man possessing it. Be not the first by whom the new are tried, nor yet the last to lay the old aside. All really big discoveries are the results of thought. We so often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door, that we do not see the ones which open for us. God has strewn our paths with wonders, and we certainly should not go through life with our eyes shut. To tell you the truth, as a practical man, I did not believe it. As a theoretical man, I saw a speaking telephone, and that theoretically we had the means of reproducing speech in distant places. The only difference between success and failure is the ability to take action. I may be given credit for having blazed the trail, but when I look at the subsequent developments I feel the credit is due to others rather than to myself. I had made up my mind to find that for which I was searching, even if it required the remainder of my life. After innumerable failures, I finally uncovered the principle for which I was searching, and I was astounded at its simplicity. The achievement of one goal should be the starting point of another. Great discoveries and improvements invariably involve the cooperation of many minds. You cannot force ideas. Successful ideas are the result of slow growth. Ideas do not reach perfection in a day, no matter how much study is put upon them. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists. Washington is no place in which to carry out inventions. The final result of our researches has widened the class of substances sensitive to light vibrations, until we can propound the fact of such sensitiveness being a general property of all matter. Educate the masses, elevate their standard of intelligence, and you will certainly have a successful nation. Wherever you may find the inventor, you may give him wealth or you may take from him all that he has, and he will go on inventing. He can no more help inventing than he can help thinking or breathing. Of course it will be a little thing, but do not ignore it. One discovery will lead to another, and before you know it, you will have something worth thinking about to occupy your mind, and really big discoveries are the result of thought. Watson, if I can get a mechanism which will make a current of electricity vary in its intensity, as the air varies in density when a sound is passing through it, I can telegraph any sound, even the sound of speech. I have discovered that my interest in my dear pupil, Mabel, has ripened into a far deeper feeling than that of mere friendship. In fact, I know that I have learned to love her very sincerely. Dumbness comes from the fact that a child is born deaf and that it consequently never learns how to articulate, for it is by the medium of hearing that such instruction is acquired. To my delight, he came and declared that he had heard and understood what I said. I asked him to repeat the words. He answered, "You said, 'Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you.' I have heard articulate speech produced by sunlight. I have heard a ray of the sun laugh and cough and sing. I have been able to hear a shadow, and I have even perceived by ear the passage of a cloud across the sun's disk. The final result of our researches has widened the class of substances sensitive to light vibrations until we can propound the fact of such sensitiveness being a general property of all matter. I have traveled around the globe. I have seen the Canadian and American Rockies, the Andes, the Alps and the Highlands of Scotland, but for simple beauty, Cape Breton outrivals them all. My knowledge of electrical subjects was not acquired in a methodical manner but was picked up from such books as I could get hold of and from such experiments as I could make with my own hands. We are all too much inclined, I think, to walk through life with our eyes shut. There are things all around us and right at our very feet that we have never seen because we have never really looked. The period that marks the incipiency of the telephone extends from the year 1874 to 1877. It was in 1877 that the telephone really began its commercial career. They came and talked successfully through the telephone, so that Japanese was the first foreign language to be spoken over the telephone. Which quote did you like the most? Share your perspective in the comments. Don't pass up an opportunity to see the next video. Subscribe.